What's going on, everyone? I'm just a typical, average American here today to react and learn about extreme Canadian winter. We're talking about negative 50 degrees Celsius in Alberta. I can't even comprehend what negative 50 Celsius means. And literally, I don't know what Celsius is. I don't know. I can't relate. So I have a calculator here. I know that water freezes at 0 degrees Celsius, and this is negative 50. So I have the calculator here. Negative 50 is negative 58 Fahrenheit in units that my American brain can understand. And I still can't even comprehend this. Negative 58 Fahrenheit, negative 50 Celsius. Would your organs freeze? Would your soul just freeze at that point? Can you even exist in negative 50? How's it get to negative 50 in Alberta? Oh my God, well that is what today's video is about. And I'm just thinking about this. Oh my God, I get a little chilly when it's like 40 degrees Fahrenheit. 40 degrees Fahrenheit. I start, I go, a little cold out here. Not gonna be going outside much longer. 40 degrees Fahrenheit, that's 4.4 degrees Celsius is when I throw in the towel, or rather wrap myself up in many layers of towels because it's cold. I can't even understand negative 50. I can't. I'm pulling up a map here because I'm a little confused. Like, how does it get so freaking cold in Alberta? Well, when I look at the map, it is more north than I thought. I still am not, I don't have a photographic memory or recollection of the Canadian map, even at this point. I'm embarrassed to say. Alberta does go a lot more north than I realized. It's much more north than, Ontario and parts of Quebec, although Quebec does get up there pretty high. So is this in the northern parts of Alberta, it can get to negative 50? That's insane. So I saw this video kind of talking about this topic, negative 50 Celsius in Alberta. What happens when extreme cold hits in these parts of Canada? And I'm curious, because as an American, I can't relate to this at all. So I want to know, what's the deal? How is this? How does nature make this possible? How do the Canadians survive? Let's take a look. What? 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 What is this? What are we looking at here? Okay. This is what happens. This is what happens. Weird things start happening. The laws of physics stop applying at negative 50. You start hallucinating about floating toilet paper. The toilet paper is so cold that it is floating in midair. How did this, why, that's a cool trick and all, and I get it, but how did this happen? This just raises a lot of questions, who brought their toilet paper outside to the back of their house? How did it get wet? How did it freeze like this? Are they out of toilet paper now? Can they even get to the store? Okay, let's keep going.
Just got out the shower.
Wait a minute, what was that? Her hair? Oh, I see.
Just got out the shower.
Look at her hair. Oh, her hair is frozen. You can't even be fashionable when you're trying to exist in negative 50 Celsius.
Taking my lab coat sledding.
Your lab? Okay, everyone starts. I'm starting to understand. You start to get a little loopy when it gets to around negative 50 Celsius, and you know what? I totally emphasize. I get it. I'm empathetic. Taking your lab coat sledding. Your lab coat is frozen solid, and you can sled on it. Of course, why not?
Alberta had an insane weekend. Just look at this bonkers weather map from Sunday. Temperatures in the minus 30s, minus 40s, smashing records up and down the province.
Yeah, okay. Why Alberta? That is that's my question. British Columbia there got up to negative 35. like other parts of Canada, Winnipeg, -27, Saskatoon, -31. It's like the northern parts of Alberta get really, really like colder even. What's up with Alberta?
For this time of year. And let's all spare a thought for the poor people in Keg River. It's a small farming community about a 7-hour drive northwest of Edmonton. They recorded a low on Sunday of -50.6 degrees. -50. And if you're wondering whether that's Celsius or Fahrenheit, it doesn't even matter because we're basically at the point where the two scales converge.
That's a good point. Like usually Fahrenheit is a lot larger of a number. Like I think it said 40 degrees Fahrenheit is like 4 degrees Celsius. This is so cold the temperature scales break down, and Celsius and Fahrenheit are like similar. Like 58, -58 is the same as -50 Celsius. That says something.
-50 degrees Celsius, -59 Fahrenheit. That's the coldest it's been in Alberta in the last 20 years.
Really? Wow. Like this report that we're watching here, it only came out like 9 days ago. So this is current. This is a record low in the last 20 years. I wonder what causes something like that, or is it just random?
One of the coldest places on the planet at that exact moment in time, and it's the temperature at which instant noodles start to do this.
What? It's so funny because it's like the laws of physics start shutting off. You can't eat your noodles outside. I don't know why you'd need to. You can't go to the bathroom. You can't use your toilet paper outside. It'll freeze. You can't use your lab coat unless you want to sled on it, or your noodles are frozen. Wow. Okay. How it started. Okay.
So as the weekend approached, the warnings were all over the news. Brace for a dangerous deep freeze.
Bone-chilling temperatures.
Severe weather. Breaking records.
And sure enough.
Oh, so they knew this was coming like 2 weeks ago or something. Interesting. What? Was this like a specific type of winter storm? -50. I still can't wrap my head around it. It was like, they're saying it was one of the coldest places on Earth during that time. Like what?
It's cold.
POV, you live in Alberta and it's -50.
Jesus, I'm pretty sure it's close to -50.
You don't want to go out there. Look at this.
They start setting
A very I love hearing the Canadian, even to the dogs. Oh, you don't want to go out there, guys. Oh, I love it. Yeah, I guess if you're living in -50, you might as well not go to waste, you know? Make some TikToks. Why not? Take advantage.
all kinds of community records. In some cases, hitting pure cold the way they haven't seen in more than 100 years.
Really?
But there's a real health and safety risk here.
Yeah.
Because if you run out of power during a -50-degree deep freeze, as in you have unreliable heat, then people could literally freeze to death.
Yes. I'm glad that they're touching on this part of it. Because seriously, all fun and joking and games aside, this is scary. Like, if something goes wrong, you could die or something, you know, your fingers would freeze off. It's scary for the Canadians actually living this. It's easy for me to kind of sit here in my cozy American abode and on YouTube and be like, oh, -50, oh, that's cold. But seriously, it's serious, and I am curious what causes something like this. I hope they touch on that.
And the operator of Alberta's electrical grid is starting to see a problem. Their social account hadn't posted in months, but at 11:35 a.m. Friday morning, they write, demand for electricity in Alberta hit a new hourly peak of 12,384 megawatts on Thursday.
Wow, okay, because all of the residents of Alberta, because of the cold, are using heating and electricity much more than normal, which is putting a strain on like the power grid. Could that cause it to like go down? I guess if anything could, that would be it, huh?
You can see from their most recent supply and demand report, which is a beast of a document, by the way, that this exceeds what they generate. As in, at this point, they're in a power deficit.
Oh.
Even now, they're having to draw on reserves.
Alberta's
They're using more electricity than they have. I didn't know that you could do that. I guess I don't know much about electricity. There are energy power reserves that you can draw from. But those are reserves. You only have so much of that. That's scary. That all of the residents of Alberta that need heating, all added together, that's more electricity than they have. That's scary.
total capacity to produce is around, it's just over 20 gigawatts. However, we have to keep in mind how the grid is designed and how it's designed to run, right? It's never expected that all of that generation is going to be available at any given time.
Right.
At one point, reserve power was down to 10 megawatts, which is like having this much water in a bucket that's supposed to be full.
Wow.
They were forecasting being hundreds of megawatts in the hole, even after you...
So, I mean, have temperatures since kind of risen a bit? I mean, even here in the United States, it was cold and even a little bit of snow. It was kind of fun. It's not the most American thing. It's a little fun. We got a little snow for once, like last week, and it's like, oh, this is cool. Okay, enough. That's enough of that. And now it's kind of warmed back up in a lot of places in the U.S. I hope the same is for Canada. I'm sure it is. But they were within like this much of the total reserve supply of electricity. That is dangerous.
using all of their backup reserves. So an emergency alert is issued.
This that went out to the phones across the province. This warning of high risk of rotating power outages.
Wow. What is this? Is this alert like telling them to like not use, like they might run out of electricity? Alert in effect for Alberta, extreme cold, high power demand on the grid. Albertans are asked to immediately limit their electricity use to essential needs, turn off unnecessary lights and electrical appliances. Is watching YouTube an essential need? Because I need to do that. I can't, I'm addicted. I can't help it. Alberta would be very mad at me. I'd be like, this, the only person not contributing, still like surfing YouTube for entertainment and drawing from the power grid, while everyone else has turned off their toasters and their fridge. I'd be ruining it all. Limit their electricity to essential needs. Turn off lights, appliances, minimize use of space heaters, delay use of major power appliances, delay charging your electric vehicles or your block heaters. Cook with the microwave, not the stove. Oh, okay.
Outages.
6:44 p.m. Saturday. Extreme cold resulting in high power demand has placed the Alberta grid at a high risk of rotating power outages this evening.
Wow.
Albertan
rotating power outages in -50? So everyone just got to take your turn. You take your turn for your house to lose electricity, and you get near freezing in your house, shivering under your blankets, and then, you know, when you finally tap out, it moves on to someone else. Everyone's got to take their turn freezing. Like, is that what rolling power outages means? What?
Are asked to cut their consumption. Turn off anything you're not using. Use your microwave instead of your stove. Don't start that load of laundry. Maybe don't charge your car right now. And who would have guessed it worked?
I feel really fortunate. I have never in my life had to worry about something like this. I've never even thought about this. And it's a lot like more scary and dangerous of an issue than I thought extreme cold could ever get to. That's amazing. So, unlike me, the Albertans cooperated and actually managed to kind of get through this limited power supply. Just barely? How it's going. Okay.
So it was a tremendous response by Albertans. We really, really appreciate it. And so that really made the difference.
On CBC Radio's Daybreak Alberta.
Again, I also think, thank God this happens in Canada, where I think the culture is a little more different, more of a sense of community. God knows if this happened in some parts of the United States. Like, everyone would, they tell you to turn your power down. People would turn their heat up out of protest, be like, no, you turn your power down. Like, just no cooperation. Oh my God, it's scary thinking about it.
Sunday morning, we heard from the electrical operator how, in real time, they saw a drop in power demand.
Wow.
It immediately fell by 100 megawatts, and then a couple minutes later, it fell another 100 megawatts. So a 200 megawatt drop, and that got us through what we call the hump.
Amazing. That is so well done. That's amazing. Inspirational. So right after they released this message asking for Albertans to use less power by all means necessary, they got like an immediate response, and the power usage on the grid went down. That's amazing. That's so cool.
Saskatchewan also managed to send Power Alberta's way, another 153 megawatts to help with the shortage.
You can do that? It's amazing what they can do. The Saskatchewan sent their energy to Alberta to help. That's so cool.
All of that was enough to avoid having to resort to rolling blackouts.
Oh, they didn't have to do the everyone take your turn being tortured in the cold for a few minutes. Okay, they didn't have to do that. Good.
But today, Alberta's by no means out of the woods. Monday was another day of record cold temperatures. The province continues to be...
Look at this dog.
Monday was another day of record cold temperatures.
Record cold? And the dog is still out for a walk in its coat. Oh, it's even got some boots. Oh my God, this dog has better winter gear than me.
Temperatures. The province continues to be at the mercy of low wind, which really cuts into how much wind power you can generate. And at least 2 natural gas plants are under-delivering right now. One due to maintenance, the other just offline altogether.
What? So it's kind of the combination of all of those things coming together at the same time that produce that tightness.
So usually under normal optimal circumstances, Alberta is not struggling to meet the power demand. They have like 2 power sources out of commission. They're at the mercy of wind to power like windmills, wind turbines, which isn't cooperating. This is like a really like sort of worst case scenario for Alberta. That's why this is such a dire situation. I was thinking like, God, the fact that this can happen, that's really concerning. It's not supposed to happen like this. There's some bad things that have happened.
And it should go without saying, any province dealing with temperatures this far into the negatives has to cope with very real health risks.
Yeah.
Frostbite and hypothermia are the biggest dangers.
Yes.
And think about the homeless.
I just wish there was more things for people out there for housing and stuff.
Oh, that's so sad. I mean, that's beyond sad. It's like homeless people in -50. It just doesn't add up. It doesn't work. Like you could die or lose limbs, frostbite. Like seriously. I think they're going to talk a little more about this though.
Profit in Edmonton, which normally doesn't offer overnight services. They plan to take in 50 people as an exception over the weekend.
Wow.
On Thursday, they had 137. Friday, 187.
Wow.
And Saturday, 230.
It's been a pretty significantly higher number than we had anticipated. And
it's scary because it's like, that's amazing. They're stuffing in 4 times the amount of their capacity of people who need somewhere to stay. It's not like it's people who are experiencing homelessness, which is horrible for anyone, but it's beyond that. It's like, if you don't let them in, they could die from cold, which is a whole nother level of like tragic.
And certainly our team has felt, the pressure of that, as has the community, as we've tried to make sure that we're getting everyone in.
They told CBC they haven't turned anyone away.
Wow.
That's a lot of humanity for whatever.
Wow, that's amazing. That's awesome. There's a lot of awesome stuff in it. For as horrible as this frozen hellscape is shaped up to be, this story, there's also a lot of goodwill and cool stuff going on with the Albertans kind of working together to shut off all their stuff that you don't need and save power. Saskatchewan sending energy as well to Alberta. Not turning down any homeless people who need shelter. A lot of good stuff in this story, actually. It's nice.
Very inhumane temperatures. And here's to hoping next weekend goes a lot more smoothly.
Yeah.
It's supposed to get a lot warmer.
Ah! It's supposed to get... Okay, it did get a bit warmer, it sounds like. Good. Very good. Maybe we can check on this. What's the weather in Alberta? What's it like? Right now, it's 33 Fahrenheit, 1 degree Celsius. Oh, it's like a summer vacation. That's like a tropical paradise compared to -50. Okay, much better. Where is this, though? Where in Alberta? Just Alberta? Okay, this is like an average or something. Yeah, good. That's good. Oh my god. How does it go from... Hold on. 1 to -50. -50 to 1. How the heck? Weather is scary, man. Canadian winter weather is scary. But I have to say, this was real fascinating for me. Because as an American, you know, I've never experienced anything close to weather like this. I've never had to worry about, like, power outages or getting harmed by the cold. And that's a real privilege that I never really thought about. But it seems like Canadians are well equipped to handle this and more than willing to come together as a community in these times of need, which was awesome to learn about. I enjoyed this quite a bit. Anyway, if you enjoyed this as well, feel free to give this video a like or leave a comment, perhaps with your thoughts on this Canadian winter weather or this Alberta -50 Celsius. And if you're interested in more videos like this, me reacting to Canada and Canadian culture, feel free to subscribe for more. And until then, thanks for watching and see you next time.